we wanted to give you a quick update from the full council meeting on the 7th of January. There were some key decisions made at this meeting that will provide greater support to our most vulnerable residents, and we started the process of developing our own plan for where future homes will be built. At all council meetings, members of the public have the opportunity to speak and share their views with councillors. It's a really great way to participate, and we would advocate this more. At this meeting, we heard from public speakers about the need to protect villages and green space from development, the need to identify land to house the homeless, what the council should be doing to tackle the climate emergency, and the devastating impact of cuts to our youth services. After public speaking, we debated a motion about domestic abuse funding that the government announced will be in the next spending review. Since 2010, 1 in 6 refuges have closed, which is causing a postcode lottery across the country. We don't know any details about the funding, but the council agreed that once the funding is in place, our aim will be to improve local support. The council also agreed to write to the government and lobby them to change their strategy to make it clear domestic abuse is a non-gendered crime. A lot of the strategy just focuses on women, but domestic abuse can happen to men as well. Next, the council debated how disappointed we were to hear that the Royal British Legion are intending to close Somerset Legion House in Weston. The house is so important to the forces community, and it would be a significant loss to everybody. We've agreed to write to the Royal British Legion and ask them to reconsider their proposal. We also briefly discussed our financial plan for the next 4 years. We've started the process of putting together our financial plan for next year, which once finalised will be debated in February and will set the council tax for next year. The new administration is committed to protecting frontline services where we can and investing more to help vulnerable residents. Councillor Tucker asked about our financial position for the next couple of years and what commitments we have received from the government. In short, we are expecting a shortfall next year in government funding. The government also hasn't confirmed funding beyond next year, nor have they confirmed key policies like how much business rates we can keep. This is going to leave us with a £17 million shortfall over the next 4 years, and we'll need to bridge this gap through savings, council tax rises, and finding extra revenue. Next year, we're already having to make £5 million in savings and potentially introducing charges for garden waste. The council has already cut £100 million from its budget over the last couple of years, but a formal debate will happen and the vote will happen in February. Councillor Gibbons, who leads our children and education services, highlighted the challenges the council has in supporting young people following the last administration's decision to cut youth services, and our hope is that the government keeps to its election promises to provide greater funding for children and education. A big change from the last administration is our increased commitment to support the most vulnerable residents. One way this is achieved is through council tax support. Currently, North Somerset Council is one of the harshest councils, as we require those who are eligible for this benefit to contribute 27.5% towards their bill. At our meeting, we agreed that we want to begin to redress this balance, and we voted in favour of increasing council tax support, so eligible residents now only pay 24.5% towards their bill. With the current financial constraints of the council, we've not been able to increase this further, but we are certainly committed to keeping this under review. This will mean those in a Band Aid property will pay £33 less next year. That might not seem a lot, but for those struggling to make ends meet, it is a step in the right direction. The new policy will come into effect at the start of April and will reduce the council tax bills for 12,400 households. The final item on the agenda was the joint spatial plan, which was a joint plan between us and our neighbouring councils to decide where thousands of homes were to be built over the next couple of years. This plan was developed under the last administration and was recently thrown out by the planning inspectors, who said it was unsound. We're now having to start from scratch, and we've decided to go it alone and develop our own plan just for North Somerset. This means we have more flexibility on what we build and where it goes. We could put climate change higher on the agenda, for example. The plan will guide development until 2036. It will take a long time to put this plan together, which will include consultations. But the first step before we can do that is to withdraw from the failed plan, which is what we agreed to do at the meeting.